So we are going to study lesson 6 together this week. It's called The 1,000 Years of Desolation, Part 2. Last week we studied about when this time period begins, what happens to the wicked, and how they are destroyed. And now what is actually happening during that time? So let's read our memory text. I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. So here's a clue already. The righteous live and reign with Christ 1,000 years. And the little commentary said, the angel said, it is the wrath of God and the Lamb that causes the death and destruction of the wicked. At the coming of Jesus, we know the brightness of his coming destroys whoever hasn't been destroyed. And God is actually giving them the desire of their hearts, because remember, they're like rocks fall on us. They actually want to die. At the voice of God, the saints will be mighty and terrible as an army with banners, but they will not then execute the judgment written. The execution of the judgment will be at the close of the 1,000 years. So let's see how this plays out in our lesson. This is a good summary here. It talks about judgment. It talks about the saints reigning with Christ for 1,000 years. And the first question deals with, what is Satan? What is he going to do for 1,000 years? The saints are going to be in heaven with Jesus. What is Satan going to do? Well, at the beginning of the 1,000 years, Revelation 20 verses 1-3 makes it very clear that it says that an angel comes with a key to the bottomless pit and chains Satan up for 1,000 years. And shuts him up so that he cannot deceive the nations for 1,000 years. And then he's going to be loosed again for a season. I believe that's in verse 5 of Revelation 20. And so there's a time of confinement, of chaining the devil and, of course, his partners, the demons. And then we continue to read that the wicked are dead for 1,000 years. All those who have been destroyed with the brightness of the coming of Christ, and before that with the plagues, they're dead. And Satan is on the earth, and he's chained up. And after 1,000 years, Satan is loosed. And when we read about his being chained, when you look at all the details, you see that he's changed by his circumstances. He cannot deceive. He has nobody to tempt, nobody to deceive, because everyone that he was tempting is either in heaven, the saints are in heaven, and the wicked are dead. So he has his profession has been taken away from him, so he is chained. But after 1,000 years, it's interesting. He's loosed again. And what does it say he does immediately? He goes to deceive the nations again. So he is free to practice his craft again, which is deception and hatred against God. And so what does he do? He gathers the nations to battle, and there are so many. The earth is swarming with the wicked as the sand of the sea. There's so many you can't count them. So when he's on the earth, this commentary beneath question 1 tells us how the earth is desolate. The cities and the villages, everything is broken down and shaken, like there have been huge earthquakes, and mountains are moved out of places. It is a mess. The earth is like a war zone, but the whole earth at once. And this is where Satan is chained. And he has 1,000 years to contemplate what he has done, all by himself with his minions, his demons. And so he wanders up and down the earth, and there's nobody to tempt. But when Jesus returns with the saints, with the New Jerusalem, we know that all the wicked are raised, and he starts his terrible work of deception, destruction, and evil all over again. And so we're going to study more about this week, but just so we can remember what Satan is doing, where the saints are, and where the wicked are dead, the saints are in heaven, and Satan is on the earth with the demons, and they have nothing to do. And that is a very sad state. Nothing to do but contemplate what his choices brought this earth to and himself to. So I just pray that as we study, we will gain blessings and see the mercy and the justice of God, because he is both perfect mercy and perfect justice. Our God is great and he is good. So let us cling to him. God bless your day.